Captains tonight for Vineland is number 81, Conrad Jackson. Number 10, Ryan Shelton. Number 34, Nazir Broom. And number 22, Taim Powell. Captains for your Williamstown Braves, number 21, David Fuller Williams.
Welcome to Williamstown Football Field for the start of the 2019 Vineland High School football. I am John Parentozzi, the color commentator. My partner, Rich Scarper, who does a great job with the play-by-play. I'm going to turn it over to Rich to do a little bit of our sponsors.
Well, what a game we have for you tonight as Vineland opens up again with Williamstown, the defending Group 5 state champs. And before we get into all the pregame, let's first thank people for making this possible. The Red and Gray Gridiron Club would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of Vineland High School football team this season. Sir Speedy, Reconstructive Orthopedics, Ducharmes, the Greenview Inn at Eastland Golf Course, Newfield National Bank, Larry's 2 Restaurant and Caters, Allen Associates, Delsey ShopRite, Medio Law Firm, The Claridge at Radisson Hotel, TechNet Consulting, Vineland Education Association, Begal University, Manny and Vic's Pizzeria and Restaurant, MVP Sports Bar, Richland Carpet and Flooring, GNS Dry Cleaners, Carluzzo and Teresi Petroleum Transporters, Beyond the Insurance Agency, Dr. Gorson General and Cosmetic Dentistry, Baruffi Brothers, Lugiano Medical, Van Dodge, Ashman Installations, the DeWinney family, and the Russo family. The Vineland High School football team and coaches thank everyone for their support on and off the field and look forward to another successful season. Coach?
Before I turn it over to Rich, I have a few comments. Last year, Vineland High School made the playoffs and got the first win in school history. We played Williamstown twice. One game was 10-7. We missed a field goal, and Williamstown scored twice. Vineland High schedule is a tough one. They play 5 of the top teams in South Jersey. Rich, what do you have to add and the lineups?
Well, Coach, as I mentioned, Williamstown 12-1 last year. Their one loss was in the Central versus South Bowl game as they lost to Sayreville 14-7 in a game that they had many missed opportunities and pretty much could have won. They finished 12th in the state. Last year's offense averaged 30 points a game, while the defense yielded just 7, and more on that Williamstown defense. Head coach Frank Fuscitola in his 23rd season, 170 wins, 98 losses. For Vineland, 5-6 last year, playing one of the toughest schedules in South Jersey. Vineland in the playoffs with a 33-0 shutout of Toms River North, as Coach mentioned, for Vineland's first playoff win. Last year, Vineland scored 18 a game and gave up 15 a game. Coach Russo is 29-32 in his 6th season, and last year's Vineland finished 55th in New Jersey in the rankings. As Coach mentioned, Williamstown beat Vineland in the season opener 10-7 with about 5 minutes left. Vineland tries a field goal. They don't make it. Williamstown scores. Vineland goes 4th and long at their own end. Williamstown gets another cheapie. So that first game, the difference between that one and the last game in the semifinals of the state tournament was quarterback Ryan Shelton, which we'll talk about as we move forward. For Williamstown, it was quarterback J.C. Collins who sparked both wins with help from Inge at the running back. Both are gone. Williamstown returns 10 starters on defense, and as I mentioned, that defense has only given up 7 points a game. Key players for Williamstown is Michigan commit number 71, Aaron Lewis. He's a 6'5", 220. He's going to anchor the ends of the line. And Kent State commit linebacker Perkins, who along with Julian Gravener form arguably the top linebacking duo in South Jersey. Division I prospect Quinn Hart returns in their secondary. Vineland returns 6 on both sides of the ball, as Virginia Tech commit Tyrene Powell, tight end wide receiver D-back at 6'4", 210, leads the way. And the most anticipated return is quarterback Shelton, who was injured in the 8th game of the season last year, but had already thrown for 1,200 yards and ran for over 500. more on that Vineland's backfield as we step aside and quiet down for the playing of our national anthem.
Please remain standing while we honor our country with the singing of the national anthem with Williamstown sophomore Alexis Mosley.
Williamstown fired up and ready to go. As we were mentioning, Vineland's offense. Nazir Broom with over 750 yards rushing and 8 touchdowns. Senior captain is back in the backfield to run the ball. And the emergence of sophomore running back Anthony Arthur, who's just had an outstanding preseason. He looks a little bit bigger, a lot bit faster, and really he's had a great preseason, so look for Arthur to work in there a ton. And junior running back Jonathan Toney, who led the team in receptions, is dangerous, getting out wide, and also his pass catching skills really helped Vineland turn the corner at the end of last year. Wide receiver tight end Conrad Jackson and transfer wide receiver Levi Manson finish out the skill positions. Manson 6'3", transfer from Shalleck. The offensive line has just one returning starter in junior Dave Dutra, who moves from tackle to guard. How you feeling, Coach?
I'm ready to go. I think Williamstown's getting the ball first, Rich.
As Vineland gets ready for that, talk about Vineland's defense when the time comes, but some question marks up front as Vineland last year graduated 3 all-conference players. They played that 3-3 stack with just 3 down linemen, and it was Anthony Reyes, all-conference performer at tackle, Jameer Malloy, all-conference performer at tackle, and George Robinson, the nose tackle, was all-conference. So they need to replace 3 guys that do the job of 5, and that's where you're going to look up front. Linebacking core returns a ton in the middle with Kent, and now I believe it's going to be Butler inside with him.
Yeah, Rich.
You have a ton on the outside too.
Garton's kicking off. He did most of the field goals last year until he got hurt.
Yeah, hurt for 1 game and back in there. So Henry Garton's ready, but the ball falls down. Garton's been dropping it right around the 12 to 15 yard line. Vineland has been trying to kick deeper in the preseason. We'll see if they go back to their traditional high fly ball down to the 30, which was effective last season for them. And it's a little more of that kind of kick, fielded at the 27 yard line. Picks up a couple blocking, gets an edge, straight arm delivered, and brought down by Gregory. Gregory fights off the block and makes the play. Gregory, one of the D-backs, he has some starting experience on that side. As I mentioned, Vineland's defensive line with what they've lost.
Yeah, we
on
collapsed on that, Rich. The kick went to the right side, and he broke it left, and we had collapsed and let him get to the outside.
So it's quarterback Brown. He got a little bit of time last year. And right through the middle, big gaping hole, gain of about 6.
Number 4, Christian Foreman with the carry.
When you got to make your safety, make all the tackles, you're in trouble.
And that safety, Tyreen Powell, flies up quick, but it's got to be some more help up front and just picking his way through the middle. Looks like he's going to have enough for the first down.
Tackled by number 22, Tyreen Powell.
So the senior Foreman at 5'8", 144 converts the first down for the
Rich,
Braves.
Williamstown starting off like they did last year with the offensive line firing off the ball.
There's a fake, looking deep over the middle.
Oh, nice play.
Gregory with a nice job to break that up. As he times it correctly, takes the receiver away from the ball.
Nice play by Gregory, Richie. Nice play by Gregory. He hit it. He hit the receiver as he got to the ball. Really good play. It's now 2nd and 10. Oh, they're trying to sweep to the right side. And he gets about 5 or 6.
He's hit a couple times with a flag on the field back at the 48-yard line. Vineland sideline coach Sheffilalio, the offensive line coach, claps a little bit. Looks like it's going to be heading back, a penalty on Williamstown.
Could have been a crackback, Rich.
Looked like that, definitely a penalty, but that penalty happened a little bit behind the ball carrier, so not a real smart play, but spot foul moves him way back.
Oh, yeah. 2nd and pretty good.
About 20, almost 25, back on their own side of the field. Brown back to throw, little swing pass. I believe that was forward and incomplete. As 30 Kent makes sure of it.
He did a nice job, Ken. He was right on his back. Now it's 3rd. This is a good spot to hold him.
Keon Williams and Nas Butler at your other linebacker spots. And Barry Turner in his 3rd year starting. Drifts to the top of the screen. They run belly to the weak side. Nice tackle on the play. Got a little bit of more room on there, but Antoine Rivera makes the stop, the sophomore.
Yeah.
Open field tackle.
And Williams was involved in it too, Rich. Well, it wasn't 3 and out, but it was a stop.
Well, Jonathan Toney back to return it for Vineland. He's going to be nestled right at his own 14. So Vineland's defense makes a stop on the Williamstown offense after they come forward for about 20 yards.
Oh, good kick.
A high, nice kick going towards Broom. Backs away, takes a Vineland hop out at the 24-yard line. So we come into this one. A lot of different people do a lot of rankings, but general consensus, Williamstown comes in as number 1 in South Jersey, while Vineland is 14. And for Vineland on the offensive side, we went over a lot of the returning skill position starters, but it's a brand new offensive line. It's going to be tested out here. They have tremendous size. But everybody but Dutra getting their first start. Nice move by Shelton. Shelton dives forward for about 5. Brian Shelton was Vineland's offense the first 7 games of the season. Gets hurt in the 8th game.
He adds a part to that offense that Pacheco used to have. Quickness from the quarterback and ability to run. And he really adds that.
And I think this season we're going to get to see the continued progression of the passing game. As Vineland has some big targets as they spread the field out. Shelton the throw. Little quick one to Tony, who catches it and dives forward. It looks like he's going to have a first down as he's just over the 35-yard line.
Yeah, he got the first down, Rich.
It was Anthony Tony last year leading the team in receptions, and a lot of that scraping late through the backfield as Powell and Tony check out.
You know what was interesting about that play, Rich? It was tipped, and he kept his eyes on the ball.
A great concentration by Tony. So Vineland's basic look is going to be 55 left tackle Eli Anderson, Jacob Rep at center. And they try to go behind Rep, and there's an opening. Broom shuffle steps for another Vineland first down.
Well, they weren't right at that tackle that's going to go. Where'd you say he was going, Rich?
Yeah, they opened that up nice in the middle. Let's get back to that offensive line. 71, Joshua Bennett, the junior at 6'2", 240. At right tackle, right guard Zach Tharp, senior 6'1", 280. Left guard Dave Dutra, the only returning starter who was at left tackle. Not much there this time on the dive up the middle. Also see Conrad Jackson, Tyreen Powell playing a little tight end.
That Lewis is 6'6", 271, Rich. No wonder they recruited him.
Yeah, he keeps getting taller and bigger, Coach.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, this defense, South Jersey's best. Vineland's against, and there's an opening there. Good
Nice
positive
play.
yards on the play, but, you know, when you turn in and there's nobody to hit, let's keep heading up the field as Tony runs into one of his blockers. Just a little short. It's going to make it third and about 2.
That was a good deception on that play, Rich. I actually thought they were going the other way. They really made a nice play.
Now it's sophomore Arthur in the backfield. And up at the wing is linebacker Lathan Kent, number 30. You see if they try to run behind Kent. And Kent comes in motion, and they try to get behind his block. But that stopped. Too many defenders there. And an outstanding play defensively by Julian Gravener.
See, Rich, when you run to the weak side, you're missing a blocker. And that's what they did then. They had double tight on the left side, and they ran to the right.
Yeah, it looked like they're trying to run trap, but like you mentioned, too many people there as Kent makes the block, but another defender there. So Vineland the punt. And Shelton back to punt.
Oh, he didn't punt in practice yesterday, Rich.
No, and then thought Garton was going to be doing the punt. Let's see, Shelton's going to punt it, though. Gets away a nice kick. It's going to beat the defender out of bounds right around the 18-yard line, make it to 19. So angled out a little quicker than we thought, but Shelton gets rid of it. Both teams get a few first downs. Defenses tighten up. Now it's time for Vineland's defense one more time.
Yeah, that was a good stop on the opening drive. They never got to midfield, Williamstown.
Gregory Powell, Antoine Rivera, and Tony, safeties and corners.
Where's that ball in the 20, Rich?
Yeah, right at the 20. DeMarcus Rivers checks in on the defensive line as Vineland goes to a 4-man front. Brown has the ball on the ground. I believe Williamstown's back on top of it, but they're going to lose a handful of yards.
I think that was a bad snap, Rich. He lost it right at the snap.
So a loss of about 3.
Trips right, Rich.
Vineland adjusts to that look. Another low snap. Brown has it looking deep.
Good play.
Nice coverage as that ball thrown to the inside. Wide receiver Gamble tries to make a play on it, but defended extremely well by Vineland.
Is that Tony?
Yeah, Tony, number 3.
Yeah, he made sure he was as deep as the receiver.
So 3rd and long, 3rd and 13. Brown's taking some shots. Here comes pressure. It's a screen and a nice block on the edge. Gregory escorts him out, but after the first down, the screen goes big for Foreman. You know how you know you have a nice block on the top when it's this close to being holding and it isn't? That's a great block and a great job sealing the edge for Williamstown.
Yeah, they had us outmanned on that side. We only had one defensive player.
Ball on the ground again. Brown takes it through the middle, takes a couple of hits, makes it back to the line of scrimmage, and a fall forward for a gain of 1. Tried to snap that in a hurry there.
Yeah, there was nothing. They didn't wait at all.
Vineland with the 4-down lineman, DeMarcus Rivers back in there. Bennett to his right. Bennett there, runs a trap out to the outside. Gamble picks up only a couple. Foreman picks up only a couple.
Rich, we're not pitching in on the defense to get to our outside. We need to pitch in. In other words, you got to force that back to cut inside. Once he gets to the outside, fair game out there.
And Vineland with a 4 front now, you think they'd be a little better chance of controlling that edge. So another 3rd down for the Braves. They throw a swing pass out. Looks like it's defended well, and it is by Vineland. Dropped immediately on the play. I believe that's Rivera coming up with some help.
And Tony made a good play.
So Rivera on that one with some help, and it's 4th down, and Williamstown's going to be punting again. We're rapidly moving through this first quarter with 4:44 and running. Vineland with 2 guys back. That's Broom and Tony.
They're too deep, Rich. They're too deep.
Player checking in a little late as John Wood makes it to the field on this punt. Snap is good. Minimal pressure. Short kick. But it takes a big Williamstown roll down to the 12-yard line, where it'll be down and Vineland will take over. So offense is moving a little bit, then coming up a little short. Both teams have made it to midfield in the 3 offensive possessions in this game.
You know, Rich, you know my theory on a punt. Never let it hit the ground.
Watch Mainland do that for decades. 2 guys back, and they never even took a step with the ball. They just caught it in the air. So Shelton set. It's a gift through the middle, picking his way through his Broom, and he's going to have about 7 or 8. Nice job by that interior line. Listening to Coach Russo, he talked about the cohesiveness of the team and that brand new offensive line with just Ducher returning, but mentioned that they were almost ready. A lot of underclassmen. The offensive line, Vineland lost a lot last year, but the offensive line was solid. It wasn't one of their plus positions, and they think they can be better up front. Shelton takes it himself. He's got an opening, and he's going to have the 1st down. Boy, he just needed that one more block on the inside before he picked up another 10, 12 yards. But quickly, Vineland out of that negative territory. They have the ball out on the 24-yard line now.
Rich, I'm not sure he's not reading that play. That's a pretty good read if he's reading it, or if it's called, I'm not sure. If he's reading it, he's making a good read.
Shelton under center this time. Nothing there on the right side. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Broom nowhere to go that time. So it looks like Kent, who only played defense last year, repping in on offense. Lathan, the junior, 6'2", 215. And what should be a passing down for Vineland.
We got trips left, Rich.
With Manson down at the bottom. Shelton throws it quick, and it's dropped. Little quick swing, a little timing pass as Powell picks off the defender, but just not able to convert it, so it's third down now and 9. Vineland certainly like to get a first down or two here. Right now we're playing field position and Vineland behind it right now. Anthony Arthur, the running back behind. He goes out for a swing pass, gets a block. Shelton trying to get the first down, and he does with his legs as he explodes over the right side. So Vineland throws a little screen, a little hitch, a little screen, a little hitch, and then Shelton pulls it down and takes it himself for a big fighting clan first down out to the 30, their own 37.
Boy, he gives you a great threat. He really does.
And I particularly like when he rolls deep and then gains ground towards the line. You know, it really puts the defenders in a bubble. What are they going to do, come up and play him or cover? There's Arthur through the middle, plows forward, some hard running, but he has about 4 yards. You know, and one of the heartbreaking things last year was Shelton's injury. He was about to set some records passing. The team was having success with them. They were getting better every week. And then for him to have to sit on the side and watch made it really tough. But he didn't sit long. He maybe sat on the side and watched the games, but after that he's been in the weight room. He's really grown and blossomed and is really excited for his senior year. Shelton himself again, runs to the outside, picks up a block, but
bad cut.
Manson has the block, but Shelton tries to outrun it to the outside.
He cuts that inside, Rich. He's got an alleyway.
So now third and about 4. We are under a minute at 50 seconds and running.
Boy, this quarter went fast, didn't it?
And Vineland started this, I believe, on their 12. So they've gained the field position back that they had lost in the punt exchanges and that nice roll on Williamstown's last punt. But to convert here, get them on just about at the 50. Vineland pretty tight in this formation. Let's see if they try to hit Powell in the middle here. Arthur or Anthony in motion, give to Arthur, nothing there. Excuse me, that's Broom, gain of 1.
I didn't like that call, Rich.
Seemed a little quick, didn't allow things to open up in there.
You know, Sheldon handed that ball off quick. If he pulls it out, again, I'm not sure if it's a read or not, or if it's just a call play.
Yeah, so Vineland's going to be forced to punt. And we're right near midfield as the first quarter comes to an end. And two pretty even matched teams.
Yeah, Vineland's defense is they've been very, very good.
And that Vineland offense taking on South Jersey's #1 defense, with just 7 points a game given up last year, and 10 of the 11 guys are still playing on defense. So Vineland's hung in there and moved the football pretty good in this first quarter.
Well, we do have skilled people, and there's no doubt about it. They're in a position on the offense that there isn't a good skilled person, and that's really going to help Vineland.
And I got to think, Coach, Chef Alalio, the offensive line coach, has to be pleased with this first quarter. Of course, as a coach, you're always upset about the 4 missed blocks that probably happened, but all in all, they've held their own with a pretty big, stout defensive line. So Shelton going back to punt. Vineland moves their formation around a little bit. Williamstown looks like they may send a little pressure from the top. Shelton gets it away, but it's high and short to the 34. Hit, spins out of a tackle down to the 41 on the return.
That's what we talked about, Rich. They probably gained 10 yards by not letting that ball hit.
In good field position this time for Williamstown as they start on their own 41-yard line. That Vineland D's got to come up with a 3 and out. Back to that 4-man front. Kevon Williams was injured early last year, back on that defensive line. And there's a give and hit. But moving forward, a nice leg drive is going to have about 4 after initial contact before Turner brings him down. Excuse me, that was Ryan Williams with the tackle.
That was Chris Foreman. Boy, he didn't quit.
Low snap. I really think the quarterback was down as he picked it up with his knee on the ground, and there's a flag. Wasn't that far deep. Even if his knee was down, it would have been a loss of only about 5. But there is a penalty on the field. I believe it's on Vineland. It's a face mask.
Oh, boy.
Personal foul against Vineland. Face mask. First down, Braves.
So I believe we're going to have second and about 5.
No, the ref's wrong. That's 15 yards. He just gave him 5 yards.
Well, I don't know if the rules have changed, but he did signal face mask and put the 5 up for a 5-yard face mask penalty. So second and about 4 now, approaching midfield. Brown gives through the middle and just enough for the first down. Goes Foreman, who runs really hard at 5'8", 144. He hits that line of scrimmage in a hurry and picks up the first down.
I don't understand that, Rich. That's a personal foul. Hey, they're the refs. Never argue with them.
I got to think all of them must be a little change that you can have. There's not much there as Powell comes up to make the hit. Tries to rip the ball out. And looks like Foreman's going to have about 3 before Powell drives him back 5. So second and 8, make it a gain of 2. This time it's a pass. Looking for the seam in the middle. Heavy pressure. Williams gets tackled from behind. It's a fly ball up in the air, but that's going to be a holding way back at the 48-yard line. As great pressure by number 8, Ryan Williams, the defensive end. And he's going to get either a hold or a block in the back at the Williamstown 48. So that's going to make it 13, and we're going to make it 23. Should be second and about 23. Williamstown's going to head back on their own side of the field, but it was that pressure that would have resulted in a sack. And that pass tipped around near the end zone. Dangerous play.
Well, that's a big penalty. Woo.
That's a second and about 23.
Second and long.
So that gives that Vineland defense some room to just contain and tackle the run. So Williams at that other end spot comes up. Pressure in the middle, but an opening to run, getting the outside edge. So we're going to have 3rd and about 8.
Again, Rich, we talked about you can't let him get outside.
Vineland defender had the outside shoulder free, but the speed of the running back didn't let him turn it back in. Just a matter of sliding over just a little bit more, as Coach is mentioning. There's sweep to the top. Coming up and not able to make a tackle, turning the corner, but there's a flag on the field. What would go for a 1st down. Jonathan Toney almost makes the tackle in the backfield.
Yeah, he had him pinned in, but he got away from him.
But a holding call. Boy, this has been 8 plays and a set of 4 downs so far. So let's officially chart this one here at 3rd and 10. Williamstown on the Vineland 48. 9:42 to go and running in the first half. And we're all tied at 0. Vineland sends pressure. Williams tries to come through. They're trying to go screen. Throwing it deep and caught. Gregory right there, but an outstanding catch. And a really well-thrown ball as Gamble comes down with it for the big 3rd down conversion.
Well, that was a good football play. You can't deny when a guy makes a great play.
And Vineland took away that swing pass, and now Vineland's going to take a timeout, try to regroup that defense.
That's twice we haven't been ready. They're switching linemen. See
Yeah.
the linemen coming off and on.
Catching the linemen standing up flat-footed while they're coming in. So this drive has been penalty filled.
Yeah.
But Williamstown converts the big one when they need it. 9:19. Williamstown knocking on the door now at the 17-yard line.
Just started back on the 30-yard line, Rich. Pretty good drive.
So defensive coordinator Clifton Smith decides to use a timeout here to try to refocus his defense. As they must have played 8 plays in that one series of 4 downs.
They got a good field goal kicker.
First and 10 Braves from the 16.
And it is misting a little bit out there with a light breeze blowing from the top of your screen to the bottom. Let's see what happens here on 1st down. And there's an edge and an opening. Pushed out of bounds at the 5. Just such a difficult task to seal that edge and turn it back, but got a lot of linebackers in there and they just can't keep up. Got to turn it back into them and let them help you out, as Coach has been mentioning. Another penalty on Williamstown. So it's going to be one of them weird ones. Oh, wow. The hold was all the way back on in the interior line. I thought it was later in the play.
Yeah,
so,
I did too.
So Williamstown's going to head back to their Vineland 30. Now, South Jersey's #1 and 14 team, and a little bit of a penalty funk going on here, mostly Williamstown. So 1st down, Williamstown again. Low snap. Brown takes it, heads up the middle. It's got about 6 or 7, goes Brown. Saw a lot of Doug Brown last year. J.C. Collins that first game in and out, and then took over
Yeah.
late in the fourth quarter with a couple really big plays. But Brown sat in that pocket and delivered the ball. He's a dangerous quarterback. 2nd and 16. Vineland didn't jump. Almost, though, as a few rocked forward. Brown has the team set now, though. Pressure from Powell off the edge on a screenplay. Support going to tackle him? Yes, they do. It's going to set up a 3rd and about 8.
I don't know if that was called or he saw the linebacker, but that was a great call. When you got a guy blitzing, man, you throw it right where he had to cover.
So 3rd and 8. Ball on Vineland's 17-yard line. Ball's loose on the ground. Still down there. It looks like Brown may have came back up with it, and he did, but it's going to be 4th down from the 20. So that will be a 36-yard field goal attempt if Williamstown tries to get on the board that way. And they're sending in the field goal kicker.
Kid's got a great leg. I watched him in a warm-up, and he was hitting them from 35 yards. Be careful to fake.
Well, hopefully, I'll give him 35, just not the 37 he's going to try it from. Decent snap. Kick is up. Looks like it's sailing to the right, and it is no good. The Vineland defense, they bent a little bit, but they did not break. Good timeout by Coach Russo and staff to regroup that defense, and they make a stand, and they're going to start at the 20.
Kid had a heck of a leg, didn't he, Rich? Man,
Yeah, just a little far that wind just kept sailing with it. So Vineland back on offense. It's been a little while since Shelton and the offense have been out there. You know, when you're deep in your own end, you may not want to get vertical right away, but Shelton's got to take a shot or two soon. And the flag hits the field on, I believe, the fighting plan for procedure. So 1st and 15.
where's that ball, Rich, on the 10?
Ball is right on the 15. 1st and 15 from the 15. Comrade Jackson out wide to the bottom of the screen. It's Powell up top. Shelton in the backfield with Broom. Tony in the slot. There's a give to Broom up the middle. Nice defensive play by Lewis.
Number 34, Nazir Boone, the ball carrier. Tackled by number 71, Aaron Lewis.
We had some success against Lewis early, but boy,
He's fast, too. He tracked that down from the top of the screen at that defensive end spot and made the tackle on the other side of the football for no gain. So 2nd down now. Gain of about 3 or 4 on that one. As Tony picks up a few. Five minutes and 40 seconds to go in the first half. 3rd and long for Vineland. 3rd and 12, ball right at their own 18-yard line. The defense held last time. Really a big first down for Vineland to convert here to keep possession of this football and not give away field position. Powell at tight end. Powell open in the middle. And just stumbling, tripped up a little bit, not able to make the connection. Powell and Shelton just a little out of sync, so it's going to be Shelton punting. This time he's going to stand on his 10 as he strikes this one. So close to what could have been a touchdown there. Powell able to stay on his feet for that one, but got tripped up with a defender, and it threw the timing off a little bit. Shelton just led him where he would have been without that little collision with the D-back. Shelton gets a line drive kick away, and it beats the return man. Vineland's going to get some good field position off the roll, and Williamstown takes over at their own 35. The punt works out for Shelton and Vineland. As Williamstown deep in the Vineland end on their last drive, now will start all the way back at their own 35 with 4:56 to go in the second quarter.
This is their 5th possession, Williamstown. They came close when they tried the field goal, but they really haven't been in scoring territory.
Yeah, and that was a big play that got them all the way there. That was like a 25-yard completion or run on a swing pass. So 1st and 10 for Williamstown and Dougie Brown. There's a give, picks his way through the middle, and after contact picks up about 2 or 3. Vineland's defense there, but if it's Turner Inge, his brother Wade graduated last year, their lead running back. Whether it's 5 Inge or 4 Foreman, they have a good drive after contact. There's a seam in the middle. Looks like it's going to go for a first down. So 2 plays, 10 yards, 4 minutes, 28 seconds to go in the first half. Quickly, Williamstown up on the ball. They believe running with some, and that may have cost them, or Vineland take a timeout. Timeout Vineland. So Vineland with a pretty big front in there. And it seems like Williamstown approaches, let's tire them out. Let's go quick. Let's get up to the ball, not give them time to adjust. Coach Smith not very happy with what's going on out there.
Violence coming off the ball and trying to penetrate. And when they penetrate, Williamstown is running right through that opening that they leave when they penetrate. A couple of times they blitzed and did a good job. Powell blitzed the once. I thought he had that guy. But they threw that little screen over his head.
See, animated Coach Smith trying to get his defense right is cramped up a little bit on the field. It's Kevin Williams. I would expect when you start the second half, Williamstown's offense is going to run with the fast tempo, as that seems to be giving them some success. 1st and 10, ball on Williamstown's own 45-yard line, 4:24 to go in the first half. And no score by either team. One more drive for Vineland to stop this half. Oh, makes a nice move and makes a miss, and another hard run by Inge. Inge was going to be hit for a loss of about 2. Like Vineland's defensive front's getting where they got to get to, just not able to make the tackle. And the ball's loose on the ground after the Kent hit. Vineland comes up with it at the Williamstown 44-yard line. Big hit by Kent, and Bennett picks it up. Joshua Bennett for Vineland, setting them up with some good field position, their best of the day, at the Williamstown 44. Now Outstanding job by Kent, the junior, at 6 foot 215. Kent, one of the returning starters at linebacker for Vineland. Now it's time to talk some offense. As Manson comes to the bottom of the screen, Tony in the slot. Give to Tony. And there's a flag in the middle of the field. Well, that's the spot where it's probably going to be on Vineland. Sure enough, it is on Vineland. So it'll be first down again, but first and about 20.
I think these officials get paid by the flag.
I'm sure there was a penalty, but like where he threw it, there was not much going on. Manson not able to come up with that one, leaves his feet. It falls incomplete.
Boy, Sheldon has not been on target tonight. He really hasn't. He's had Powell open, and Manson was just open.
Well, Coach Russo had mentioned Vineland staying on their practice field this week to get used to this grass, and it's just been some receivers stumbling a little bit around and timing off between them and Shelton. And all it takes is to get that right, as there are some chances down the field. And even when they're covered, there's chances with the size of Jackson, Manson, and Powell. Shelton takes it himself. Squares his shoulders, comes forward, picks up about 7 or 8 into the Williamstown side of the field. As Perkins makes the stop, it's going to be 3rd and about 14.
You know, Sheldon has taken a pounding tonight and showed no signs of the injury.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And it just seems there's an urgency when the ball's in his hand. And him attacking that defense really puts the pressure on them. This play taking a little bit of time to get in there. We're at 3:05 and running. 3rd down here for Vineland. 3 receivers to the bottom. It's a swing pass and incomplete, as Tony not able to come up with it, as he had Powell and Jackson out front ready to block. So 4th down. Vineland with the turnover off the hit by Kent. Not able to do anything with it. So Williamstown will get another crack with the football as Vineland prepares to punt with 2:54 to go. Line drive kick. It's going to roll down to about the 17. Hit initially, swarmed over, and brought down at the 20-yard line where Williamstown will take over.
The guy threw the flag from out here. There was no players.
Well, you know, if it's a penalty, it's a penalty, Coach. I don't like to get into that, but when one official throws it and he's 40 yards away and the 3 guys standing right there don't, it's kind of showing up your other officials.
Personal foul.
So a late hit on Vineland.
Oh, boy.
I had averted my eyes from the field at that time, and it probably was a late hit. It's just strange that you have officials right there not calling it. So now the Braves are going to start at their own 35 with 2 minutes and 44 seconds left here. And Vineland's going to take their 3rd timeout on defense, as Coach Clifton Smith is not happy with how they set up there. And wisely, Coach Russo and calling these timeouts for the defense has helped keep this a 0-0 game. You know, Williamstown starts driving, few penalties, keep driving, get in the red zone, a timeout, regroup the defense. Another time, defense not set, a timeout, regroup the defense. So if we can pull this one off here, one more stop to go with 2:44 on the clock.
Well, Rich, it's been a defensive struggle. There hasn't been much offense except that one drive for Williamstown.
And that drive, 3/4 of it was the one play.
Right.
I mean, they did pick up, about 15 yards on some runs also, but so that one big play really got them close. Vineland's defense has held well in the first half, but need to finish this off here. Look for senior Barry Turner, number 9 in there. He usually has a nose for the football and understands down distance and where we're at in this football game. So quarterback Dougie Brown have the Braves ready to go, and he's back to pass. He's looking deep, and it's caught and complete over top of Gregory down to the 20-yard line. Mackay Gamble with his second catch of the ball game. Man, just a pump and go, and outruns the defender, and a beautifully thrown ball by Dougie Brown. This one goes nowhere, a little delay on the inside. Garcia and Williams in there to stop that one. Loss of about 4. It's going to be 2nd and 14, 2:20 and running on the clock.
It's a big stand for Vineland if they can hold him here.
Dougie Brown gives to the top of the screen, picks up a block. It's going to make it 3rd and about 8. And I think Williamstown about ready to call a timeout. And they do. And while we have that timeout getting ready to go into halftime, the Red and Gray Gridiron Club would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of Vineland High School football team. Sir Speedy, Reconstructive Orthopedics, Ducharme's, the Greenview Inn at Eastland Golf Course, Newfield National Bank, Larry's 2 Restaurant and Caters, Allen Associates, Delsey's ShopRite, the Medio Law Firm, the Claridge, a Radisson Hotel, TechNet Consultant, Vineland Education Association, Begal University, Manny and Vic's Pizzeria and Restaurant, MVP Sports Bar, Richland Carpet and Flooring, GNS Dry Cleaners, Carluzzo and Teresi Petroleum Transporters, Biondi Insurance Agency, Dr. Gorson General and Cosmetic Dentistry, Barufi Brothers, Luciano Medical, Van Dodge, Ashman Installations Incorporated, the DeWinney family, and the Russo family. So 3rd and 8 for Williamstown. Vineland sends a blitz through the middle. Heavy pressure on Brown. He floats it away somehow, but a great job by Powell on the tackle. It's going to make it 4th and 4. Boy, Dougie Brown avoids that sack, somehow gets rid of the ball, and an outstanding pass, and right there is Powell. So good job on both sides of the ball.
Oh, we got a roughing the passer.
Oh, there's the flag.
Oh, no. Oh, no. That's a
That's going to be a first
intentional
down.
grounding.
It was a personal foul on Vineland. So 1st and goal for Williamstown, just that quick, as they're on the 7-yard line with a minute and a half to go. They give through the middle. Gain of about 2. We're at 125 and running.
They're going to go wide to the left, Rich.
They spread the field out. It's 2nd and goal. This time Brown tries to take it himself through the middle. Stays on his feet inside the 5, down to about the 2. And Williamstown will take a timeout with 58 seconds to go. Boy, a lot of penalties in this second quarter, Coach.
Yep. That was a hairy call on that roughing the passer because he didn't slam him or anything, but he hit him.
And he was basically in run mode as he pressed the line of scrimmage. An amazing pass. Vineland's captains for tonight, Tyree Plow,
Danny's out
Nazir
there talking
Broom,
to the
Ryan
official.
Shelton, and Conrad Jackson. We talk about a decent half of football. You're knotted up at nothing but knocking on the door in field goal range goes Williamstown with under a minute to go. And it's 3rd and goal from the 2. And the way these backs have been running, I mean, after contact, they've been getting 2.
Yeah.
Brown under center. He's going to give over the right side. There's a hit, but he's still going to get in the end zone for the Williamstown score with 52 seconds to go in the first half. Williamstown gets on the board with a short 2-yard run. And Williamstown will go for the extra point. They're going to, I should say, they're going to try to kick the extra point. Brendan Amico in to do the kicking. Brendan's field goal attempt of 38 yards went wide to the right. Spotted down, kick is up and good. 7-0 Williamstown, 52 seconds to go as Vineland waits to receive.
That's a shame. Half that drive was penalties.
Yeah, in that last drive, I'm doing a little stat work here, was a 50-yard reception that set them up the last time. This time it was a big penalty.
Two of them, Rich.
Yeah.
Roughing the passer. Then they got called one down inside the 5. I saw Danny talking to the referee on the sideline.
Well, Vineland's shown they have just missed connecting on some big plays. So
Yes, they have.
you got to think they've liked some of the matchups they've had when they have the football.
Sheldon has not been as sharp as I thought he would be. He's missed a couple of receivers.
You know, and a lot of times the receivers aren't running free either. Powell got tripped up in the middle.
Oh, I think he'll settle down. He'll be fine. We're too deep, Rich.
Vineland's return guys back at their own 8-yard line.
We're too deep.
As Amico set to kick it off. Not much time for Vineland with 0 timeouts left. Amico boots it right to the 8-yard line. And here comes Vineland's Tony, who's hit and dropped right at the 20. So 45 seconds to go. Vineland offense back out there, and a whole bunch of flags hit the field. Looks like a penalty on Vineland. 4 flags hit the field after the play. I guess they all agree.
Ooh.
Offsetting penalties. Lack of discipline on both sides. All right, so 1st and 10, Vineland. This drive's going to start right at their own 20-yard line. Powell at that tight end position. Vineland tried to hit him up the seam on that before. See if Shelton takes a look there this time. Linebackers probably will drop right away. It's a give up the middle. Now bouncing to the outside goes Broom. He's to the 25 and knocked out of bounds at the 27. A gain of 7 on the play. Guess they're trying to say who's knee hit inbound, so 25 seconds to go. Could be Vineland's last play. Just a little dive up the middle. It's going to be enough for the first down, but time expires. So at the end of the first half, it's the Williamstown Braves 7, Vineland nothing as we head to half. Coach, what you have going on there?
Well, Williamstown had the ball 5 times. We had it 4. Really no offense until that last drive with 2 minutes to go. And there were a big pass play and then a couple penalties, and Brown went in at the 52.6 seconds to put Williamstown up 6-0. The kick was good. Vineland received the kickoff and ran the clock out. So the score, Rich, again, not much offense, a lot of good defense. 7-0 Williamstown.
You got it. And Coach and I are going to step away for a few minutes, and we'll be back for the second half of Vineland High School football as they take on South Jersey's #1 ranked team and defending Group 5 state champ, the Williamstown Braves. Mic clear? Okay, cool. I can't hear Coach at all through the headphones anymore. It was like once we went. But we're muted, right?
Music arrangements are by Ryan J. Williams. Percussion arrangements are by Rob Whitemoyer and Val Coots. Drill design by Sam Brooks. The instructional staff, the band director is Val Coots. Assistant director Bill Graff. Color guard Crystal Gayhart. Percussion Kelly Birchfield and Sean Desanier. Student leadership, the drum majors Taylor McKenna, Amber Medeiros. The field captain, Sarah Radichal. Woodland section leader, Alex Manganello. Brass section leader, Anthony Otlowski. Percussion section leader, Kamar Scott. Color guard section leaders, Lauren Brophy and Sarah Trainer. Thank you to all the Williamstown High School parents and volunteers for their continued support. We hope you all enjoy the show. Veronica Ray, please report to the Spirit Club table to collect your purse. Veronica Ray to the Spirit Club table to collect your purse. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our results for the 50-50. It is $150. The ticket number is 0231793. That number again, 0231793. Meet us right outside the press box to collect your prize.
Welcome back to Williamstown High School in the second half of the Williamstown Vineland High School football game. At halftime, Williamstown has a 7-0 lead. The first half was a defensive struggle until the last 56 seconds of the half when Williamstown knocked in a 2-yard run by Brown. Vineland has moved the ball, but they just seem to miss in a crucial spot. They'll miss a play where they need a first down. They've held Williamstown, which is supposedly a potent offense. They've held them pretty good. So we should see an exciting second half.
Well, entertaining warm-up coming out of the half as Henry Garton is attempting 35-yard field goals in the packed bleachers on this side of the field, and the student section have been giving Henry a hard time, and Henry just booted this one from 35. And now they're riding him again. So down there right on the 26, Garton's going to try a 36-yard warm-up field goal here. And he's got some leg behind it. I think it just went a little left. So they're one out of two there. But anyway, back to this football game. Defensive struggle, as Coach mentioned. Penalties on both sides, blowing up drives and helping drives. And it was a pretty clean first quarter. That second quarter, a ton of flags hitting the field. I believe there was one series on first down. I think we ended up having 8 plays before the possession was over with another first down. Like, just an awful lot late in that half. Vineland's defense withstood for a while, but a big 50-yard pass play set up field position. And from there, Williamstown cashes in off the personal foul. 15 yards gets him up in there. So 7-0, Coach. What's Vineland got to change up this half? Make that offense start moving.
We get the ball. No. Yeah, we get the ball first. So maybe we'll see a little spark in the offense.
It was a couple big plays and big connections, but the one thing Williamstown's been able to do offensively is get to that edge. Vineland not setting the edge of the defense as firmly, and it's an awful big responsibility. And sometimes they're able to get there, but you have two hard running backs, not big or anything, but they finish their runs forward. So even on the stops, they're getting a handful of yards. Now, there has been some bad snaps from Williamstown. A lot of times it looks like Dougie Brown's almost having his knee down as he picks it off the turf, and that's something that's almost like a false start penalty. You lose 5 yards, except you lose it down 2, so very close to that happening, but the offense has to get a little bit more in rhythm. So as Coach mentioned, Vineland will return. It's Tony and Broom back deep for the Fighting Clan, right around the 10-yard line. The last kickoff went all the way down to the 8. See what halftime changes Vineland has in store and what they're going to try to attack here. Official in the back waves off play, and I think we're finally ready. Looks like just a light breeze, but when you step outside of the booth, even though the flags aren't whipping real fast, there is a big breeze and a misty rain blowing right to the bottom of the screen. This one's high end over end, but short. Hops up on Tony. He tries to head towards the far side of the field, and he's swallowed up at the 13-yard line where the Fighting Clan will take over.
Little mistakes, Rich. Little mistakes. There's a little mistake. Put you in a hole right from the gun.
Yeah, back in your own end here, this is what the first half was like. Vineland getting some first downs and equaling the field position, but just not able to convert on the big play as Powell and Jackson split out wide. The offensive line has held up fairly decent their first time together with just Dutra, the returning starter. And Shelton's legs have looked good when he's kept it. There's a give to the top. Stretching out wide goes Broom, stays on his feet. Does a nice job picking up about 5. Broom, the leading rusher on the Fighting Clan last year with over 750 yards and 8 touchdowns. If we can recall anything about Broom is given space, he's had probably 5 or 6 last season 40-plus yard runs. Shelton calls for motion this time, and he's going to keep it himself. Tries to head up the field, and he's hit and dropped down back at the 16-yard line. So a loss of about 4. So it's going to be 3rd and 6. The passing game hasn't connected today and done much. Let's see what Vineland tries now on 3rd and long, and it's a false start by Comrade Jackson. So 3rd and 11 now.
puts a big cramp in it, Rich. That puts a big cramp in it, that extra 5.
Manson down to the bottom. Powell in the slot up top. Shelton takes it himself. Now flips it, and it's dropped. So another incompletion sets up 4th and 11. And looks like Shelton's going to stay in there and kick it away, but it should be great field position for Williamstown. Missouri two-man Brody Colbert stands right at the Vineland 44-yard line. So Shelton's going to be punting from 2 yards deep in the end zone. Snaps there, pressure on, he gets it away. And it's going to roll to the 42-yard line of Vineland, where Williamstown starts on Vineland's side of the field. Is that Ethan Evans downs it at the 42.
Little mistakes, Rich. That drop pass. I mean, you can't blame Sheldon on that. He hit him.
So Dougie Brown and the Williamstown offense moved it a little in the first half, but just a couple big plays set them up. But they don't have far to go on this one if they can grind out a drive. And the ball's loose on the ground. That's that indecision off the snap. But Dougie Brown's going to lose about 5 on that one.
Boy, that would have been
So 2nd
nice.
and 14.
That would have been nice if we could pick that one up.
A lot of these snaps are really low for Brown, and Brown not that tall. He's close to the ground, able to come up with a lot of them. In the backfield, hit initially, now getting the corner and turning upfield, leaps in the air before Powell shoulders him out. Great run by Foreman. Foreman breaks that tackle in the backfield. So it's going to set up 3rd and 9, ball on the Vineland 41. Brown back in the shotgun, and he pulls Vineland off. And the offsides call is going to really help this out. Making it 3rd and 4.
Little mistakes. Just little mistakes.
This time Brown gives to Foreman to the top. He breaks a tackle, cuts to the inside, breaks another one. And he's hit and drop it, not after the first down. And that first down is going to take Williamstown to the Vineland 25. This time he's turned in, but still forward for about 4 yards. Williamstown paces Vineland's defense, not quite, mostly up front, not quite set at the snap.
No, they're not, Rich. They're not set.
Brown gives again in the middle, picking his way for close to a first down, going to be about a yard short.
Boy, the defense, Rich, has been on the field a long time tonight.
In a long time with a
I don't
fast
know.
tempo as
I would take an educated guess that we've got probably 3 first downs.
well, Tyrene Powell just checks out here. The officials send him off. I haven't seen the replacement come on yet. Manson checks in the safety, number 4 for Vineland. Trying to go wide and cleaned up on a nice hit on the play. That's more than once we've seen Antoine Rivera make a tackle. He's had a strong first game for Vineland. The sophomore at 5'11", 170 certainly plays a lot bigger than that. So it's 4th down now.
Oh, they're going for it, Rich.
4th and 4. Dougie Brown and the offense are going for it for Williamstown. See if they try to draw Vineland off. And that's twice on this drive. A Vineland player jumps off sides. Got to think they're definitely going for it, but you got to know they're going to try to draw you off. That's a big couple of penalties that led to this first down, as Coach mentions, little things. 1st and 10 from the 15 now. Dougie Brown gives to the top and just standing a little flat-footed there. That's going to get down to the 12 as Kent makes the stop.
Yeah, we're just digging our own graves sometimes with these mistakes. There we weren't set again.
2nd and 8 at the lay up the middle and a big gaping hole. That's going to be real close to 1st and goal as the ball's inside the 5-yard line. 7:15 to go in the 3rd quarter. So 3rd and really short, 3rd and about a yard. Now they put the down markers down, so it is 1st and goal. And down inside the 2 to the 1-yard line. So Williamstown has that Vineland defense on its heels as they look to get in the end zone again. Last time it was Dougie Brown taking it himself. He's under center. And this time he's going to give over the left side. No signal yet. And a stop by the defenses. They're going to say he's short. 3rd and goal inside the 1. Real tight formation. Brown tries to take it himself, and he's pushed back. And they're saying he crossed the end zone in really close as Dougie Brown's tackled back at the 4, but his initial surge gets him into the end zone on a 1-yard run.
Boy, I'd like to see that one again.
So Williamstown looking to go up 14 with 6:16 to go in the 3rd quarter. A drive that was pretty much stopped and a couple offsides penalties lead directly to these 7 points as that kick is up and good. So Williamstown takes advantage of the Vineland mistakes. The Vineland sideline a little down now. They need something from the offense to get back in this, and that's a tough task against South Jersey's #1 defense, but they got to find something that's going to work for them. Defense coordinator Clifton Smith fuming with that drive because you make the stops with those offsides.
2 offsides, Rich.
Were the 10 yards in that drive to keep it 4th and 4 offsides. Converts the 1st down, and then from there, just grinding it out. One thing Coach Russo and his staff have mentioned, that this is the most cohesive group of players they've had, embracing the whole team concept, and that's what it's going to take. It's going to take some good execution. And it starts with this drive here. Different guy kicking off this time, Coach. It's Michael Giardelli.
What number is he, Rich?
Michael Giardelli is number 19. It's usually 18 Amico kicking. So Vineland may be back a little far, possibly. He's got a strong leg, and he's going to drill it further than before to the 6-yard line. As Broom looks to head to the far side of this field, stiff arm breaks a tackle. Stiff arm breaks a tackle, gets the corner. So out to the 33-yard line. This is where, as an offense, you try to get too much on the ground, and you end up losing what you have. And sometimes you just got to look for that 3 yards.
We need a couple of first downs. Get a drive going. There's a Williamstown player hurt. I don't know if you saw.
Oh, okay, we have Williams. Thank you, Coach. It's near that sideline. He's cramped up. Yeah, as Coach mentions, you need a few first downs. You also got to respond to this score. Your offense had the ball, didn't work out. Penalties on defense lead them down the field. But the offense has to answer, and you want to answer in the end zone. But first step, as Coach mentioned, maybe getting a couple first down and get downs and gaining some confidence. So the Williamstown player, Inge, heads off the field. He seems to be okay, just a little cramp.
Oh, it's Turner.
Turner Inge, yes, Coach. Shelton tries to get it going. Back to pass. He's flushed, scrambles out and throws it away. Incomplete. Intentional grounding on that one. So not only is that a spot foul penalty, but also a loss of down. And set this ball. So it's going to be 2nd and 15.
Oh.
Just not enough time to set in the pocket, and the pressure just gets to the quarterback. Shelton throws it late and making a play on the ball and taking it in the end zone. It's going to be a pick 6 interception returned in the end zone. So just that quickly, 20-0 Williamstown. As these first 6 minutes of this half have been a nightmare for Vineland. Poor decision there to try to get rid of it late and just flat-footed. Defender breaks on the ball and just nobody between him and the end zone.
Do you know who that was?
I believe it was Garviner, 33.
33.
Kick is up. High and good. 21-0 Williamstown. 5:43 in the third to go. This is going to be a real test of the Vineland character. Don't want to see them implode here. You want to see them start to grind back out and into this football game. As we talked about starting that drive, you want to get your 3 yards. You want to square your shoulders and get this, but trying to do a little bit too much are the Fighting Clan.
Yeah, that's a very bad start to the second half. The penalties.
I don't know it could get much worse for that second half.
No, the penalties really hurt them, and then the pick six.
Actually, it was Taylor Robinson had that interception, Coach.
Robinson.
Yep, 37-yard return. So Vineland with a long way to go, but a lot of time to do it.
Kicking off for the Braves, number 19, Michael Giardinelli. Back to receive for Vineland, number 3, Jonathan Cummings, number 34, Nazir Broom.
Giardinelli to kick off again. His last one went down to about the 5-yard line. This one's going to drive Broom back to his own 3. Makes one man miss. Looks for a block up top. Brings it back to about the 22-yard line. What a weapon that is. You got 2 guys that can kick off and put the ball inside the 10-yard line. Gives Vineland a long field to go. Haven't seen much from Arthur in the backfield. Now Arthur's there this time. And he picks up about 2, be 2nd and 8.
Number 1, Anthony Arthur, ball carrier, tackled by number 71, Aaron Lewis. Second down.
Somehow, Rich, you got to find Pal. He's got to be a threat somehow.
Vineland, the tight formation here, double tight ends. Takes it himself. Ryan out of bounds. A little short of the first down, I believe. Well, I think this one's going to be going on Lewis. One of the few mistakes from Williamstown is if it is on Lewis, it's going to give Vineland, and it is, it's going to give Vineland a first down and move them out of their own end.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against the Braves.
So that's going to take it up to the 46-yard line. Vineland quickly up to the ball. 4:51 to go in the third. Coach Russo conferring with the official, and looks like we're ready to go. Brian Shelton gives up the middle. Gain of about 1 or 2 for Anthony Arthur.
We're that close to breakable. Nobody saw my hands. My hands are, my fingers are closed.
So 2nd and 8. Swing pass. Tony picks up a block from Powell, picks up about 6. Third and 3 for the Fighting Clan. Now they're in Williamstown territory with 4 minutes to go in the third, right at the Williamstown 48. Finally going with the double tight ends, trying to give that line some time. And there's a delay in the middle. Broom on his feet has another first down for the Fighting Clan down to the 39 or the 40-yard line of Williamstown.
He made a great cut on that. That was a great move where he came up, cut away from the defense, and got an extra maybe 5 yards.
Yeah, he looks better in this game running between the tackles
Yeah,
than last year. Last year, everything was like hitting an edge, and he was fantastic at it. But now showing the ability to get between the tackles and see those seams. Vineland looking to throw. Oh, then tackled. There's the flag. No problem. Tyreen Powell is tackled going for the football. So it'll be a pass interference penalty on Williamstown. Not much of a question if that was pass interference. That'll move Vineland down to the 25-yard line of Williamstown. I don't know why they step it off if the ball's right on the 40. You know you're going down to the 25. So he takes 15 steps and he's too short. He takes 2 more to put it where it belongs. 1st and 10, Fighting Clan. They're on the move now. Shelton takes it himself. Gets to the top of the screen. Stays on his feet. Turns upfield for another Vineland first down. This one down to the 10-yard line. 2:52 to go in the third. Vineland looking to get on the board. They've been getting big chunks on this drive.
Come on. I'd like to see him hit Powell in the corner.
I don't know if they can. This is going to be a delay here. This is taking a little while. I don't know if they can have Powell not at tight end to chip on Lewis and stop some of that pass rush. Vineland's got to get it off. They have 5 seconds, and they do. Nothing there for Broom, but he manages to pick up a couple, finding a little crease.
Tonight, our best runs have been straight ahead. When we're trying to take the angles and stuff, we haven't done anything. But when we hit that hole quick.
Yeah. I don't know if a back has made it to the outside. Shelton has rolling a couple times, but you're absolutely right.
Sheldon's the only one that has made it.
Well, that's because he gets to have that dual threat, and you got to honor the pass.
Yeah.
Shelton takes it himself, tries to get by Lewis, and Lewis makes the tackle for no gain.
Been a pretty good drive, Rich. This started our own 24.
Well, Without that pick six and that first drive touchdown, you're in field goal range, but you don't need a field goal in this one, at least not going to try one on this drive. You got to get a couple touchdowns first. Shelton to throw. He sets, delivers, caught by Tony, makes one miss, but it's going to be 4th and goal from the 3-yard line with 40 seconds to go in the third quarter. Wholesale changes for Vineland as they bring in a big package. You got an unbalanced line to the right, I formation behind the quarterback, and that's going to invoke a timeout by Williamstown.
I don't like that formation.
Oh, I like it.
Nah, you got 4 yards. You're going to hand the ball.
First of all, it already did something good. It got you a timeout. You give them a look they haven't seen. This is almost like a 2-point conversion play, and you don't know that they weren't going to shift out of that. They called timeout quick.
That's true.
I don't think we're averaging 3 yards a carry, so maybe a little bit of a new wrinkle.
Take Sheldon wide. Pass or run.
Well, back in the old days, this is definite run time, but in
pitch.
today's football, I don't know.
Pitch.
Yeah, it's a little bit different.
You know the veer. Pitch that ball.
This is where you talk your quarterback into sticking with option 1 and not getting out wide. He's an audible out of that thing. So Williamstown uses a timeout. It's 4th and goal, Vineland. They're down at the 4-yard line officially. It's closer to the 3, but Vineland hustles to the line. 1 receiver up top, that's Manson. 4 receivers at the bottom. It's thrown, complete, and in the end zone. And I think Vineland may have got away with a little bit of one there, as they didn't look like they were all set out there, but 4 receivers to the top. They outman the defense. Tony takes it in for the score with 7 seconds to go in the third corner. Garton on for the extra point. Turner will be doing the holding. Dylan Mercano doing the long snapping. Barry Turner with the hold. Henry Garton attempting the kick. Snap down, kick up. And it's good. Garton converts it. So we're probably just a kickoff to go here in the third quarter. Vineland answers.
Who caught that pass, Rich? Was that Tony?
Yeah, Tony, Coach. Well, I kind of went quiet for a second thinking, I'm like, we don't jump off sides twice.
Oh, yeah.
Then we probably don't try to force something on the next drive to make up for that one. And we're sitting at a 7-7 or 14-7 game. So Vineland's defense needs to make a stop, and the offense needs to keep it going. But Vineland back in it, down just 2 scores. So we approach the end of the third. Garton having a little bit of a hard time setting that one up. Kent checks it out. We're ready to go.
How much guts, Rich? One side?
No, not
No.
yet. Next one. Next one. I'm going to give my defense one more chance to make a stop. Garton squibs it to the 32. Where Williamstown takes over. But then again, like we used to talk last year, if you're going to pop it up to the 30-yard line, kind of don't seem horrible to try an onside kick. It's about a 10-yard loss if the other team comes up with it. The only time I was thinking onside kick was after the first score by Williamstown, but there was no time left in the half, but that would have been the time to do it. So Vineland defense trying to make a stop here. It's 1st and 10. So give up the middle and an opening before Powell comes up, but a gain of about 5. Foreman's done a nice job carrying the ball today. Nothing really long, nothing really explosive, but he's picking up 3 or 4 a pop as that's going to do it.
You know what I like
the
about
third
their
quarter.
backs, Rich? They hit the hole. There's no hesitation.
And
Even on the sweeps,
they
the
hit it
hole.
with a full head of steam. And that offensive line able to get a push up front. Gives them a little room to go. Well, I don't think you could give anything else, Coach.
No.
And you can't even give a couple first downs and make a stop. You got to work with some field position, too.
You got to get the ball back, Rich. You got to get the ball back, stop the clock.
New D-back in for Vineland. That's Sean Winchester. Looks like false start on Williamstown. Make it 2nd and 11. Dougie Brown the whole way for Williamstown at quarterback. He fakes. He's looking to throw in the seam. Wow, what a catch and what a defensive play. Tony right there with his hand on it. But as Tony and Gamble fight for it, it's Gamble falling to the ground, keeping his hands on it with Tony's in there. Couldn't cover that much better. Great throw by Dougie Brown. Williamstown looking to move quickly now to Vineland 35. Great lead blocking on that play using your tackle that pulled around. That's going to be a gain of 8.
They don't let up, Rich. Look at them. They're ready to go.
Well, I think if you had to give a nod, it seems like they're not wearing out quite to the same way with this tempo. It's really affecting the Fighting Clan. And there's Demetrius Rivers with a hit, but still driving forward close to the first down. Goes to running back. Excuse me, DeMarcus Rivers. DeMarcus, a junior, 6'1", 330, makes the hit, and they did stop him short of the first down. It's 3rd and 1. Gregory not in there for Vineland. There's a give over the middle. Picks his way in. Kent makes a hit, but enough for a first down to the Vineland 20.
Rich, it looked like a nothing play, and he got 8 yards.
Yeah, Vineland's tackling has not been great. Almost stopped in the backfield. That wasn't a bad attempt at diving play, but just in general, Vineland not wrapping up. Linebackers got to fill a little more square and stop that forward momentum. Brown keeps it himself, makes one miss, cuts to the inside, and picks up another handful of yards. Dangerous play with that ball out, but Brown's done what he needs to do. So second and about 4. Williamstown in no hurry as we're at 10:45 and running. Well, they wouldn't mind having a field goal at worst here. Ball's loose on the ground, but picked back up. Kent makes the stop after a short gain of about a yard. Third down now, 3rd and 4. Little confusion on the give that time by Brown.
I think the wrong guy got the snap.
See if they try to draw Vineland off. They do. Vineland that time doesn't jump. They may give it another shot before they snap it here. It's the give, trying to get to the outside and staying on his feet and getting close to the first down. Well, he stopped him short. It's going to be 4th and 2. Field goal will make it a 3-score game, but it looks like Williamstown's going to go for it. Strong legs on kickoffs and extra points, but they're going to try to give it a shot, see if they just try to draw Vineland off and then maybe burn a timeout. But no, they're going to go for it. Give up the middle, pressure, and stopped by the Fighting Clan as Kent cleans up the initial tackle by Ryan Williams. And Vineland takes over with 8:34 on the clock. The defense stands, but Williamstown had the ball for a little while and gained some field position. A little surprised not to see a field goal attempt there, Coach.
We have no 38 on our roster.
30 cleaned it up. 8 made the initial hit. Shelton ready. He gives in the middle and nothing there at all. I think on both sides of the ball our lines have been wearing down a little bit.
Yeah,
Williams at the end a little different. I'm talking about the big guys on both sides.
Williamstown is much quicker than us up front.
False start on Vineland. So now 2nd and 15. Vineland back at their own 10-yard line. Last year, Vineland's trademark was a team that didn't quit and mounted a lot of fourth quarter and second half comeback attempts. They're going to need something special here as they're behind it with down and distance here. Shelton keeps it himself. There's a ton of traffic in the middle, and he may pick up the 5 they lost, setting up 3rd and 10.
Yeah, he picked up 5 they lost.
7 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the ball game. Number 1 ranked Williamstown in control if they can make a defensive stop here. take something special from Vineland, needing to convert. Shelton to throw. Under pressure, he's hit, swarmed over, and sacked all the way back at the 8-yard line. So Vineland's going to be forced to punt with 6.5 minutes to go. For the second time today, it's like Shelton will be punting out of his end zone. It's 4th and 17. Brody Colbert stands at the Vineland 40 to return this one. Well, you take a shot, fake it here, Shelton to Powell.
Powell's not in the game.
He's at the right tight. Shelton's going to kick it, and it's blocked. That's going to set Williamstown up 1st and goal at the 1. Off the block, Shelton able to fall on top of it. So much like last year's game, kind of gets a little out of control in the second half. 7-0 game at the half. Williamstown comes out and scores twice in the third. Now block a punt and have 1st and goal at the 1 with 5:47 to go. Here's a given into the end zone for the score. Foreman pops it in this time. 5:42 to go, 27-7 Williamstown. A lot of weird things. And what a great fan section over here.
Was it Turner?
Vineland takes a shot here that's going to work one of two ways for them. I mean, this was a game that was tightly contested for quite a long while. The score right before the end of the half puts Williamstown on the board. And a pick 6 and basically a touchdown off a block punt as that one nestled at the 1. And the conversion is good.
Little things have hurt us tonight. That's, that things you can clean up. The penalties have destroyed us.
At very inopportune times. So basically 2 defensive scores for Williamstown, a pick 6 and a block punt that's at the 1, and then they score a play later. But I mean, the offense scored it.
I'm surprised that punt got blocked because it was a good snap. Maybe Sheldon wasn't deep enough because he's in the end zone. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but blocked with pressure right through the middle.
Remember we punted, Rich? We used to count our men.
Yep.
And tell you this is your man.
It's too easy that way.
And if they overloaded, we'd tell the back to pick them up.
I think they had the man, they just didn't block the man, though. It's a big mess up through the middle.
Yeah.
So Vineland's going to get it back. Still would like to get that offense clicking. This one a little short. Bobbled, and the other up back comes up with it. So Vineland starts from their own 33-yard line.
That was a pretty good recovery.
Yeah. I don't know if they're having a hard time seeing it or if the wind's killing it, but kickoffs and punts have all been about 5 yards in front of where we think they're going to be. The offense drives and scores the last time, but now they have a ton of work to do. Let's see how Vineland tries to attack this. Nothing there on the left side. Arthur's just not had room today to run the ball when he's in there. Shelton picks up about 4 or 5 on that scramble. Coach, I knowing they're going to pass there, I'm watching as Shelton gets his drop. There's people in his face so quickly.
You've got to teach the offensive lineman to make a cut. They can't let the man, you hit him right on the line, you drive him. It's just like a run block.
There has to be cohesiveness so that somebody's not at a standoff on the line, somebody else is in a pass drop set. You're absolutely right, because it's almost like one-on-one blocking up front. If somebody gets beat, you're in trouble instead of trying to fan them out. Under 5 minutes now. 3rd down. Shelton to throw. Has a little bit of time. Now big pressure. And he's going to hold on a little long and get sacked for a loss of about 12. So not a great start for that offense. And with 4:27 to go, Vineland's decided to punt as it is 4th down and about 15. Good snap, Shelton the kick. Angles away from Inge, who comes up with it. Makes the first one miss. And the second before he's ripped down right around the 46-yard line. 3:46 left.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have found a brown Williamstown wallet belonging to Evander Edwards, please return it to the...
So 1st and 10 officially from the 42-yard line.
With the license plate, license Evander Edwards.
That's a keeper forward for about 4.
Yeah, let's see what kind of class Williamstown has.
Well, Coach, if you're Coach
Run the ball
Fuscitola,
out.
how do you feel about Williamstown's performance today if you're coaching them?
How do I feel? I think they grind it out, boy. They come at you.
So you're pleased with your team if you're Williamstown for game 1?
They haven't made too many mistakes at all, Rich.
There's the keeper, gets to the outside, stays in bounds, and dives forward for a 1st down.
Dougie Brown with quarterback keeper, tackled by number 24, Jayon Denby. That's good for another Braves. 1st down.
2:52 and running. Getting to the outside again. There's a hold But I don't. There's a hold down here, but maybe a late hit on Brown in the back. Not sure if that far official could see the holder if he's calling a different penalty. But definitely one of them on Williamstown.
Yeah, one was on us. And another one just got thrown.
Well, the officials try to sort this out. So both fouls on Williamstown. And a dead ball personal foul also. So they're going to march off 2 of those.
There are 3 fouls against the Braves. Holding penalty was declined. Dead ball, personal foul.
So Vineland will accept one of the 2 holds. And the personal foul 15 yards. I think they still got to keep walking a little ways. Look, he's going for a stroll.
Yeah.
At the 36-yard line.
I like the way the ref just, he looks like he's picking tomatoes.
Take a step, take a step.
Go.
This is good. 2:15 and running. So Williamstown's going to start this season 1-0, and Vineland falls to 0-1.
They got a new quarterback in, Rich?
There's the give. Just a little slant over the right side as Dougie Brown's still in there. Looks like a foul on Vineland this time. We'll wait for the official call, but I believe that's on Vineland. Sure enough, it is. So a long season ahead of us, not the way to get started.
It's unbelievable how many flags have been thrown tonight.
You come in, you play a game, can't get the offense going a little bit, that's all right, but pretty sloppy with costly penalties, then silly penalties here. So 144 in running. Dougie Brown, the quarterback now. Looks like they're going to take a timeout, does Williamstown. And the Red and Gray Gridiron Football Club would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of Vineland High School football team this season. Sir Speedy, Reconstructive Orthopedics, Ducharme's, the Greenview Inn at Eastland Golf Course, Newfield National Bank, Larry's 2 Restaurant and Caters, Allen Associates, Delsey's ShopRite, Medio Law Firm, The Claridge, a Radisson Hotel, TechNet Consulting, Vineland Education Association, Begal University, Manny and Vic's Pizzeria and Restaurant, MVP Sports Bar, Richland Carpet and Flooring, GNS Dry Cleaners, Carluzzo and Teresi Petroleum Transporters, Biondi Insurance Agency, Dr. Gorson General and Cosmetic Dentistry, Baruffi Brothers, Lugiano Medical, Van Dodge, Ashman Installations, the DeWinney family, and the Russo family. Vineland High School football team and coaches thank everyone for their support on and off the field as we look forward to another successful season. So 2nd and 13 officially, 1:38 to go. Dougie Brown just gives up the middle for no gain. So in no hurry as we get down to 1:15. So as I was mentioning earlier, Coach, you come in here and you leave with a loss. It's not traumatic, but not a sharp performance by the Clan tonight, because they have a lot of little things, as Coach keeps mentioning, the little things to correct.
This is 3 losses in 2 years, this team.
And 3 losses in about 1 year, because it was first game last year too.
No, a total of 3, right? In 2 years.
Yeah, I'm saying it's almost 1 calendar year, because the first
Yeah.
game last year we lost to them, the first game this year, and
And
the
did
one
we
in the
play
playoffs. So it's been
here all
like
3
12
times?
months. Huh?
Did we play them here all 3 times?
No, we were at home the first game last year, here for the playoffs.
Oh, okay.
And that's going to do it as we're at 5, 4, and 3. No snap needed. Defending Group 5 champs. They're going to make us go through this. 1.8, but Williamstown's going to get the win. 28-7 over Vineland, and they did it with a defensive touchdown. They did it with a block punt that started them on the 1. So as they get ready to kneel on this one, Coach, how does the second half go for you?
Well, Williamstown had the ball 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and scored 3 times. At the 6:16 mark, Brown 1-yard run. At the 5:43 mark, Roberson pick 6. At the 5:42 mark of the 4th quarter, a 1-yard run. All 4 extra points were good. Vineland got a score at the 7-second mark of the 3rd quarter when Sheldon hit Tony and Garten made the kick. Like you said, a little lackadaisical effort on the offense. Defense played tough up until that 3rd quarter when mistakes happened.
Yeah, and the defense gives up the 1 score late in the first half. So you give up 7 points to Williamstown in the first half. Not too bad. The other drive hurt, the pick 6, the block punt. So a lot of things to get cleaned up. A long way to go in this season for Vineland. And it's not like you start out with a regular football game. You're starting out with South Jersey's #1 team in Williamstown. And Williamstown looked sharper tonight, executed a little better. But we have a long way to go this season, Coach, and another good product from Vineland. Onward and upward, better games ahead as we look forward to next week. Any final words, Coach, before we get out of here?
This is John Parentazzi from my partner Rich Scarpa. Wishing you a great week coming up, and we're home next week. And come out and see Vineland play. This is a tough start for them. As Rich said, it's a great club, Williamstown, but Vineland will rebound. Have a great week.